It's one of the most competitive categories in motorsport, so it's no surprise that it all comes down to the final day of the season, the final race of the year. Welcome to your championship preview for LMGT3 for the Bapco Energy's 8 Hours of Bahrain. I'm delighted to be joined by our resident WEC expert, Sam Smith. And Sam, LMGT3, I would argue, it's always a competitive, borderline chaotic class. There's always a storyline going on. There's always something to talk about. And this season, I feel like, has been no exception to that.
Keeps you on your toes at all times, doesn't it, LMGT3? Second season of this wonderful category. And again, we've kind of got a Porsche Ferrari fight, haven't we, at the top?
It always happens.
With Manthey first form and the Vista AF Corse guys in the number 21 car. Really tooth and nail fight between them this season. Now we've got the 81 TF Sport Corvette coming up on the rails after a really strong series of results, with that pinnacle being the Fuji win that they got. I think this is 11 points to me is like the ideal number of a gap between two title combatants, because if the 21 won the race and the 92 finished second, they would be level on points, Alex. If that played out,
winner takes all.
It would go on countback. And guess what? The countback would go to Ferrari. So imagine if that played out. That sort of scenario can play out in racing, particularly the FIA World Endurance Championship. That's how close it's going to be. 11 points doesn't feel anywhere near enough to have a comfortable Saturday afternoon and evening for the Manthey first form guys. So we're going a real battle royal this weekend.
Oh, I said it once, I'll say it again. Winner takes all. There's nothing quite like it in a season finale, is there? Now, when we look at Manthey's season, they didn't score in Qatar, and then since then, they've essentially either won it or been sort of scoring in the lower points. But it's that level of consistency, Sam, that wins championships, isn't it? It
is. We've said it so many times before. I mean, they've got a fantastic driver lineup with Ryan Hardwick, Ricardo Pera, and the incredible experience of Ricard Leitz in that car. They had that dramatic finale at Imola, didn't they? You remember when they were battling with the BMW and they just held them off at the flag by, I think it was just under a second. And then at Le Mans, I mean, Le Mans, they just had a magical weekend and race in particular at Le Mans. And that feels like the basis, the sort of foundation of their championship this season. They've had a terrific campaign, but also the races, a bit like the 51 crew in the hypercar class, when they've not been right at the front and been able to get another victory or another podium, they've scored big. They've got the fifth, they've got the sixth in those races at Interlagos, Kota and Fuji, and that's made the difference for them.
I just want to touch on the fact that Ricard Leitz, he's won a championship here before in 2015, LMGT Pro with Manthey. Not only has he got that level of experience, Manthey also do too. How important is that going to be coming into this weekend with knowledge of not only how to win championships, but also how to win at this track?
It's a very good point, and it's actually crucial to know how to resist that pressure, to know how to focus on the result, go stint by stint, lap by lap, soak in as much information of the changing conditions as we go from day into night time. Even looking at the tyres, how the tyres perform. This Bahrain track is actually quite high macro, so it's quite coruscating on the cars as well. So you've got to manage the tyres over a stint, particularly in the heat of the day. All that will feed into the strategy, and the experience will actually help that team, I think. And look, what hasn't Ricard Leitz and Manthey won in the past? You don't get more experience than that. But Ferrari will want to win this championship. They won the race here last season. They've had a great season, and I think it's going to be another one which will go down to the final 2 hours at least. Yeah,
it's exciting times, isn't it? And we caught up with Ryan Hardwick earlier on to see how he's feeling about this weekend.
Well, it's nice to come into the last race in the championship lead. It's pretty close, and so it's not going to be easy. We've got two great competitors that are still in the championship fight with us, and it's been an awesome season racing, with both of those teams all year. But we're very confident. We have a calm confidence about us. I know that if we continue to just execute things just as we've done all year long, that we should be in good shape, come the end. I think a lot of it comes from the team, right? It's not this team's first time, being here, so they're very well prepared. They take a lot of time, both back at the workshop and then obviously here at the track, to be prepared. And also my teammates, my co-drivers, they put in a lot of work too, both away from the track and here. And so, when you put in that much effort, in between, good results tend to happen, when you get here. So I think these races a lot of times are won with the work that's put in beforehand than what actually happens when you get here. Bahrain always has really nice racing, you know, from starting in the heat of the day and then transitioning into the night, the track changes quite a bit. And so it's a challenge for all of the drivers, and I really think it's a fun track. There's several passing opportunities, and you know, with the changing weather conditions and track conditions, it's always pretty exciting racing. Last year was an awesome race, came right down to the end, and hopefully we see some more tight racing like that this year. Yeah, I would say the overall grip and surface. You know, we have a new tire compound in LMGT3 this year, so that'll be new for all of the competitors here, and seeing how that tire compound reacts to this track. In my experience from years past, there's quite a lot of changes from the track from the start of the race to the end, and so I expect it to be no different and be quite a challenge, but it'll be the same for everybody.
And we've mentioned them already, but let's talk about who's second in the championship right now, and it's the number 21 AF Corse. And I think their success this season has largely been a little bit underrated. That actually, if you look at it, they hadn't had that incident with Valentino Rossi that caused that DNF, and if they hadn't got that penalty in Fiji, I know, if they hadn't this, they hadn't that, but you look at it and you think, they'd arguably be leading the championship. They've had a really phenomenal year. They
have indeed, Alexa, and you raise a good point about Imola, because if they hadn't been turfed off at the Rivazza, they'd be looking really strong.
I didn't want to say it.
would be leading the championship. But look, every team, every driver's got if, buts and maybes during the season. It's no surprise to me, because the continuity that they've had as a trio in that car, yes, they've changed the number from 55 to 21, but that's about it. They're stable, they know each other, they know their strengths, they know where they can pick up from each other. Simon Mann, Francois Heriot and Alessio Rivera have been absolutely super strong as a unit, and it's no surprise to me that they're in championship contention. Rivera, standout performer in that category. He is a super quick, super intelligent driver, and one of my drivers of the season across the whole grid. He's been absolutely fantastic, and a nice little cherry on the cake for him is driving the Ferrari 499P in the rookie test on Sunday as well. So yeah, I expect them to be a real challenger for the title on Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see how Alessio gets on with that. But it's also just worth mentioning, to add to the intrigue, I know we mentioned about the fact that, well, the number 21 in its previous number won here last year, but actually the other thing that was interesting is the number 81 Corvette came in second. Those two cars have had a lot of success here. And meanwhile, the Manthey, they've struggled here in Bahrain in previous years. So it does kind of set us up for quite a feisty battle going into Saturday.
There are different narratives to suit any kind of argument.
We can tell every story if we want.
Going into it. I mean, a good point there again, Alexa. I think the Ferrari situation's interesting. What people aren't really talking about is the Vista AF Corse Ferrari squad have got strength in numbers, haven't they? They've got two. Manthey, yes, they've got the Iron Dames, and it is the same squad in all but name. But I'm just wondering if the 54 could come into it and actually be a real sort of juncture of the championship potentially. Francesco Cancellasci, Thomas Fleur, and of course Davide Rigon as well. Rigon's been super quick. I mentioned the Rivera before, but certainly Rigon is a top performer in that category. But when you talk about the TF Sport Corvette guys and you think about momentum, they're the car. They'll be in a really good position to potentially come through as outsiders and win a very unlikely title on Saturday evening.
We'll come back to TF Sport in just a moment, but for now we spoke to Alessio Rivera earlier on.
Yeah, of course, it was a really good 2025. As you said, we were really consistent through all the years. A lot of points, good second place in Le Mans, good win in Spa. Unfortunately, we had a 5 seconds penalty in Fuji and we missed the victory, which were a lot of points. But to be still in the fight for the championship is really nice. Coming in the last race with the opportunity to win is always special, and yeah, I'm really motivated. Last year we won the race. It was a really special moment because it was the first win for us in the LMGT3 for our crew. And this year will be a bit different because we have different compound, hard tires. We are struggling a bit more with this compound. So yeah, it will be really important in the free practice to understand the right setup. We have two different setups, and we will try and we will see which one will be the best. The secret here, I think, is to have a really good car on tire wear, and also the driver has to manage the tires really well. So I think this is the secret to win the race.
And to finish us up, let's talk about the number 81 TF Sport, because for them this year, it's pretty much been a season of being on the podium or just bust, honestly.
Yeah, the early phase of the season was tricky for them, difficult. While their teammates won in Qatar, they were having some struggles for various reasons, but since then they've been super strong. And what we saw in Fuji, I think, was indicative of that trio, a bit like the 21 in terms of continuity of Charlie Eastwood, Rui Andrade and Tom Van Rompuy as well. Nice unit there for TF Sport to work with. I think they will feature in this title fight. As long as they can win, I think they've got a chance. But honestly, it will take some bad luck for the two other protagonists with Manthey and the Vista AF Corse Ferrari. It's a real outside shot. But if anyone can go against the odds, it's TF Sport, it's Charlie Eastwood, it's Rui Andrade and it's Tom Van Rompuy. So who knows what can happen?
Well, it's not just a matter of going against the odds, but I would say that these three drivers are drivers that know how to make the best of a bad situation. That even when the beginning of races don't necessarily go their way, they know how to pick up the pieces. And actually, their strategy with their experience that TF Sport have, it's going to be crucial here to try and make sure that they can make their way through the pack to finish that P1.
It feels like there's a real never say die attitude to that 81 crew, and actually the TF Sport guys altogether. I mean, we love them. They're just such a racers squad, aren't they? And they bring so much to the WEC. Yes, I think the way that it'll go out in the strategy on Saturday afternoon, TF Sport will be looking for something maybe a little bit different. They know they've really got to win the race. They've got to go all out to do it.
All or nothing.
Interestingly, the 33, which could tie on points with Manthey, but couldn't win the title because of countback, they are now out of contention for the championship. But of course they could become a factor to help the 81 in the latter stages of Saturday's race. So watch out for that one. That could play into a nice team dynamic come Saturday evening.
And after that incredible finish of the race in Fuji, of course we had to catch up with TF Sport's Charlie Eastwood.
We're feeling really positive into this weekend. Obviously we won in Fuji, which was an insane race, but an amazing result, and it's put us right back into the hunt again. We are the underdog, there's no doubt. We're in third, but in the LMS a few weeks ago, we were able to be in the championship in third and win it with a win on track. So all we can do is try and win on track again here in Bahrain, and yeah, it'll be what it'll be. The Corvette is really strong here in Bahrain. We have probably the best degradation of any GT3 car on the grid. So when it's super hot here and the surface is like it is here in Bahrain, it'll always sort of play into our favor. So we were pretty confident last year, and I think we've made some massive steps as a team and as a car since then. So hopefully a different compound of tyre, but we'll still be in the hunt and be super strong.
To wrap us up, Sam, for one last time in LMGT3 in 2025, let's do some predictions.
We've done all right this season, haven't we? Oh, sorry, I've done all right this season.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that one.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for a new race winner.
Oh.
I'm going to go for BMW. And I think,
okay,
I just got a feeling that Valentino Rossi could break his WEC LMGT3 duck and stand on the top step of the podium with his teammates Kelvin van der Linde and Ahmad Al-Hati. So that, I think, feels like a nice way to finish the season. That in turn obviously will have an effect on the championship, and I think it can only benefit Manthey. So I ultimately see Manthey winning the championship, but it's going to be, for them, terrifyingly close. I think it's going to be super close, but I think the Porsche trio will just do it.
And that is it from us for the final time this year. We've had 64 hours of racing under our belts, and we've got just 8 to go. We're going to race from day to night. It's going to be an absolutely epic battle, and one that you do not want to miss. Follow along with all of the action live on FIAWEC.tv and on the FIA WEC social media. And of course, make sure you check out our Hypercar Championship preview on the WEC YouTube channel. It's going to be epic.